All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Lunar Flow. Today is June 10th, and it also happens to be the evening of the new moon in Gemini, as well as the solar eclipse. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now for all of us. So if you want to find a comfortable seated position on the edge of your mat, at the edge of a block or a blanket, in the middle of your mat, finding length in the spine, shoulders away from the ears. You can keep the eyes closed or a soft gaze open. Just take the next few moments just to tune in, setting an intention for our practice. This new moon, the solar eclipse, setting an intention as we bring awareness to the breath. Every time we take an inhale, repeat that intention to yourself. See if you can shorten that intention to one word. Every time you inhale, you're inhaling in that intention. And every time you exhale, you are letting go of what is no longer in alignment in your life. Inhaling in that intention and exhaling out what we no longer need. And start to bring more awareness to the room. Shrugging the shoulders up to the ears and back down. Shrugging the shoulders up again and back down. Trying to add some dynamic movement. So just keep rolling the shoulders in a way that feels good. You can reverse the direction. Really trying to build heat today. So the new moon is yang energy. So it's more of the masculine energy, the solar energy. We also have the solar eclipse. So we're going to be doing a little bit more movement to begin with today, but then we'll still wind down towards the end and embody more yin energy. So we won't do just yang the whole time. We will also wind down, which is really important to do after movement. And then just start to kind of go side to side, bringing the left shoulder down towards the left side of the ground next to you in the mat. Just add some gentle movement, letting the body just open up a little bit, almost like you're dancing in a way. And then bring the hands out to the side, palms facing in front of you, and just gently start rotating left and right. So we're doing a little bit of spinal twist here just to let go of any excess heat and make room for new heat to be built into the body. Just moving the hands, let the hands kind of flow, so you can kind of just let them open up. And next time you land on the right, place your left hand on your right knee and bring your right hand behind you, coming into a still spinal twist, gazing back behind your right shoulder. You feel that breath moving in the body. And on the next breath, gently bring the palms out, facing in front of you. And once again, just do some gentle spinal twists, letting the hands do what they will, actually. Just let them do whatever feels natural to you. As you just let the body just naturally open up left and right. We're not catapulting our body left and right. We're just working with what capacity we have right now. And next, when you land on the left, bring your left hand behind you, right hand on your left knee. Gaze back behind your left shoulder, coming into a seated spinal twist here. Taking a few deep breaths. Open up the spine. And gently coming back to center. Just for a moment, let's just open up the neck a little bit before we come up. We're going to do one more movement practice before we come up to standing. But let's just open up our neck. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. You can use your right hand to gently guide that right ear closer if the neck has space in it. And if you're not pressing play on the Spotify playlist, please do so. And you can go straight to the third song on the playlist and make sure to unshuffle. It's Lunar Flow with Nina on Spotify if you are live streaming this elsewhere. Gently release the right hand down if you used it. And then bend the right ear to the right shoulder one last time, and then switch sides, left ear to left shoulder. If it feels good to you, you can take your left hand and guide left ear closer to the shoulder. See if you can keep the shoulders relaxed away from the ears. Inhaling in that intention that you are setting for this new moon. What is it that you want to plant the seed for? And release the left hand. And feel free to do some gentle neck circles or half circles if that feels good to you right now. Going as slow or as fast feels good for you. And this particular new moon solar eclipse is not so much about pure manifestation, but it's really also about looking and just observing what comes to us in our intuition, how things have been working for us, seeing what is in alignment, what is not in alignment, and not necessarily acting on anything right now, but simply just observing what comes up for us. We're also in Mercury in retrograde. Make sure to switch directions if you were doing neck circles. And Mercury in retrograde, as many who might be watching this know, really messes with communication and technology and planning. So that combined with the new moon, with the solar eclipses, is a lot to happen in one day. So we're going to take today to not necessarily focus so much on just the typical new moon manifestation, but really just seeing what word describes kind of what we do just want to maybe feel right now. We could turn it from intention into what do I want to feel right now. So you can take it whatever way it calls to you right now, whether you do have an intention in mind or a feeling in mind that you'd like to feel right now. So next we're going to come onto our hands and our knees, getting ready for a few rounds of cat and cow. Fingers are spread wide, your shoulders are directly over your hands, your hips are over your knees are stacked, and keeping the gaze down, the crown of the head reaching in front of you. Take a deep inhale as you move the navel towards the mat, bringing the gaze up into cow. And then exhale as you round the spine, bringing the gaze towards the navel into cow. Inhaling again, navel moving towards the mat, gaze up, cow. And exhale as you round the spine, bringing the gaze to the navel, cat. Continue doing a few more rounds of cat and cow with your own breath. You can even close the eyes if that feels good to you. If it feels better to not move the neck, you can also choose to just keep the neck sort of looking down and just focus on the movement of the spine. And you can go quicker if that feels good to you with your cat and cow, or you can go slower. Feel free to add any other movements that feel good to you in cat and cow. You can move the hips in circles. You can gaze back at your heels. For some of you, it may feel good to flip the wrist, pointing the fingertips towards you to get a bit of a wrist stretch. So whatever feels good to you. Finish up wherever you are, coming back to center. Now, this is where the yang practice is going to differ from the yin, in that we are going to do a little bit more core to build up some fire in the practice today to honor the yang energy that is around us right now. So staying in your cat and cow, the neutral tabletop position, tuck your toes. You want to engage your core, so hug the belly to the spine. Engaging that core, keep that breath moving as you lift the knees 1 inch off of the mat. You'll feel this in your core. Push into your hands. Keep that belly engaged. Breathing here for 10. 9. Shoulders away from the ears. Hug those shoulder blades together. 8. 7. 6. 5. Keep that breath moving. 4. 3, we're almost there, keep going. 2, 1, lift the hips high to the sky, coming into your first downward dog. Shoulders away from the ears. Check that your index fingers are pointing forward, your thumbs are pointed towards one another. And pedal the feet, wag the tail, getting comfortable here. We haven't done a downward dog in this class. This is the first time we've done it in Lunar flow, so just honoring this change in energy that we're practicing on the mat. Nodding the head yes. Shaking the head no. And look to the front of your mat. Gently, gently, gently walk your feet to your hands. Keep the feet about hips width apart. Grab opposite elbows and come into a forward fold. You can bend the knees if that feels good to you. Getting a bit of a hamstring stretch. Letting the head and neck relax. And see if you can bring the weight more to the balls of the feet. You should feel this way more in the hamstrings. Breathing here. Maybe even swinging left and right if that feels good. On the next breath, release the hands down to the mat and slowly, slowly, slowly roll up. One vertebra at a time. And when you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. All right, so a first for lunar flow is because we are in the new moon and a solar eclipse, we are actually going to be doing sun salutations today to honor the yang energy that is around the moon. So coming to the front of your mat, toes together, heels are slightly apart, hands to the side, standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. Shoulders away from the ears, really root down into all areas of both of your feet. You should feel the outline of your feet on your mat as if it's embedded into the mat. And gently open the eyes as we will start Surya Namaskar, A, Sun Salutations A. Inhale as you sweep the arms to the sky, palms together, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up. Exhale as you forward fold into Uttanasana, hinging forward at the hips. Inhale as you come up halfway, hands on shins or fingertips on the mat. The gaze is down, front of the head in front of you, breathing here. And exhale as you forward fold, Uttanasana. And inhale as you rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, just doing a gentle half surya to begin with to warm up. Gaze at the sky. Inhale as the arms come down to the heart. Exhale as the arms come to the side. Now adding on a little bit further. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale as you bend both knees, plant both hands outside of your feet. Bring that left foot back. Bring that right foot back. Coming into a high plank. So we don't want our hips to be too high. We don't want our hips to be too low. We want to try to form a long line. Our shoulders are directly over our wrist. Gaze is down. Engage that core, hugging the belly to the spine. Bring those heels back behind you as if you're standing on a wall. Breathing here for 10. 9. Keep that breath moving. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. You got this. Keep going. 2. 1. Go back, downward dog. Feeling that heat building in the body, really embodying that yang energy. Shoulders away from the ears. Hips are moving high towards the sky. You're rotating those inner creases of the elbows towards one another, and keeping the hands flat and fingers sort of apart on the mat. Nodding the head yes. Shaking the head no. Look to the front of your mat. Step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhaling halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Palms down at the heart and at the side. And again, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale as you plant both hands, bring the left foot back. Bring the right foot back. But this time, lower all the way down. See if you can do it with your core. So engage that core, hug the belly to the spine. And see if you can lower down, squeezing those elbows into the body, almost like a chaturanga, but lowering all the way down. Untucking the toes. The feet are about hips width apart. Squeeze those elbows in. You can bring those hands out about 6 inches in front of you. Squeeze those elbows in, keep the gaze down. Inhale as you come up into Cobra, Bhujangasana. Squeeze those elbows in, breathing here, pulling the heart through. And exhale as we bring our forehead back to the mat. Slide those hands back underneath the shoulders, squeeze those elbows in. Tuck both toes, lift those knees up, squeeze those elbows in. Engage that core as you push back up, high plank. Exhale back into downward dog. Beautiful. Breathing here, shoulders away from the ears. Nodding that head yes. Shaking the head no. Look to the front of your mat. Step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up at the palms. Palms out at the heart. And Samastitihi, hands to the side. And once again, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant both hands, bring your left foot back. Bring your right foot back. Now, what we did last time was an alternative to chaturanga. You can come down into cobra. Otherwise, in this case, if you want to try chaturanga, which is the essentially like a yoga push-up, but also it's staff pose, you want to bring the shoulders past the wrists, bend the elbows into the body so you can form one long line with the body. Breathing here. Inhale as you bring the heart through, tops of the feet down, upward dog, opening of the heart. Exhale, downward dog. That is a full vinyasa in Surya Namaskar A. You can always go through Cobra as an alternative and then come back into downward dog. So you can always adjust as needed. You can always bring your knees down if you're doing chaturanga as well, if that helps, your knees and chest down. Keep that breath moving here. Moving away from having the weight mostly in our hands, but trying to bring more of the weight into our legs. See if you can raise those hips high even more. Feel free to go on your tippy toes here. See what that feels like to have the hips high, and then lower the heels down, seeing if you can imagine the hips staying as high. On the next breath, look to the front of your mat, step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhaling halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up at the palms. Palms down at the heart and at the side. And again, full vinyasa, your choice how you go down, chaturanga or cobra. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step or jump back, chaturanga or cobra, your choice, moving through your vinyasa. Breathing the heart through. And exhaling into downward dog. We'll all meet at our own pace. And if you have more room in you now with warming up a little bit, building up that fire and that heat, you can bring the knees to the chest, hug the knees to the chest, and then bring those heels down. You'll see that that might add more height to your hips and bring more of that weight into the backs of the legs versus the hands, like our furry friends. Keep that breath moving here. On the next breath, look to the front of your mat, step or jump your feet to your hands, inhaling halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale as you forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up to standing, palms to the sky, gaze up. And exhale as the palms come down to the heart and to the side. And take a moment just to notice what is showing up for you right now in the body, in the breath, perhaps even what images or thoughts are coming to the mind. Inhaling in that intention or that feeling that you'd like to feel or to bring in, and exhaling out all that no longer serves us. And gently blink open the eyes. We'll now transition to Surya Namaskar B, which is the second part of sun salutations. So starting off with the toes together, the heels together. Sit back in a chair with the arms behind you, almost like you're kind of skiing here. And then sweep the arms out in front of you, coming into Utkatasana. Now tuck that tailbone in. So you don't want the tailbone out, you want the tailbone to be tucked in. And see that you can lift up your toes and that your knees are past your toes as you bring your toes back down to the ground. So breathing here, heart as open as we can be. 5, 4, 3, 2, sit back even deeper, and 1, exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale as you step or jump back, chaturanga, moving through your flow. And we'll all meet back in downward dog. On the next breath, lift that right leg up to the sky along your legged dog. Open up that right hip by bending that right knee, hugging that right heel to our back. See if you can square the shoulders, really isolating this hip opening, Breathe in here. On the next breath, straighten that right leg up to the sky. Inhale as you bring your knee to your nose, curving that spine like you're in cat. Breathe in here, knee to nose. Keep that breath moving, engage that core. Float that right leg up to the sky. Shift forward, this time bringing your knee to your left elbow. Breathe in here, keep that core engaged. Float that right leg up to the sky. Shift forward, bringing your right knee to your right elbow. Keep that breath moving. Right leg up to the sky. And shift forward as you bring that right foot down on the mat. Bring your left foot down on the mat. So both heels are planted, rising up into warrior one. So in warrior one, we want to make sure that our hips are square to the front edge. We don't want to come into warrior two, warrior one. So your right toes are pointing forward. Your right knee is over that right ankle, and your left foot is at about a 45-degree angle. Option here, you can bring the arms up to frame the ears. You can also bring the palms together, gaze up. Breathe in here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently bring the arms back down around that right foot. Come onto the ball of your left foot. On the next breath, bring your right foot back to meet your left foot, coming into a high plank. Option 2, vinyasa, or go straight back into downward dog. Ooh, definitely very different from the other classes, right? Not a lot of yin so far, a lot of yang, but it'll feel extra good when we get to that yin part today. Getting rid of or burning off all that stuff that we don't need, all the energy that we've maybe carried that we don't need. Nodding the head yes. Shaking the head no. Float that left leg up to the sky, long three-legged dog. Open up that left hip by bending that left knee. Try to keep the shoulders squared as you do so. Breathe in here. Straighten that left leg up to the sky. Once again, shift forward, bring your left knee to your nose. Engaging that core. Float that left leg up to the sky. Shift forward, bringing your left knee to your right elbow. Engage that core, keep that breath moving. Float that left leg up to the sky. Shift forward, bring your left knee to your left elbow. And float that left leg up to the sky. Shift forward, bringing your left foot forward. Left foot down on the mat. Right foot down on the mat. Rising up, warrior one, other side. So just once again, checking that the hips are facing forward. Your right foot is at a 45-degree angle. Left knee is over that left ankle. Arms can be floating up. Palms together as an option. Breathing here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently bring the hands back down around that left foot. Come onto the ball of your right foot. Using your core, bring your left foot back to your right foot and move through your vinyasa and go straight back into downward dog. When you do come back to downward dog, bring the knees down, coming into child's pose, taking a moment to rest, bringing the forehead down to the mat. Maybe even rocking the whole body left and right if that feels good for you. On the next breath, gently rise back up into downward dog. Look to the front of your mat. Step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhaling halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale as you sit back, Utkatasana, awkward chair pose. Sweeping the arms up, heart open, breathing here. Tuck the tailbone in. Option to come onto the balls of your feet to balance. Adding some core challenge. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the heels down if they're up. Straighten the legs and arms. Palms up, gaze up. Then exhale as you bring the hands down to the heart and to the side. Beautiful. That was definitely some yang energy. So now come to the middle of your mat. We're just going to do one standing balancing pose, and then we're going to come all the way down to the mat. So taking advantage of kind of this good transition from sort of standing to sitting or on the mat. So we're going to do Garudasana, which is eagle pose. I love this. I think it's really awesome. It's a really great, to me, metaphor, like a symbol for kind of squeezing everything and then releasing everything. So it's a really great, for me, a great pose for the new moon and solar eclipse and Mercury retrograde. All right, so we kind of warmed up for it by coming into chair. So once again, sit back as if you're in a chair and fly as if you have wings. Okay, so flap those wings, sit back in that chair. And next time you flap down, bring your right arm underneath your left arm. For some of you, it may just work to pull to the opposite shoulder. If you can, bring the palms together, even a little bit. You want to bring the palms together and then bring the elbows up in line with the shoulders. We're going to bring our right leg out to the right, keeping into that awkward chair pose, right, sitting in that chair. And then you're going to bring your right knee up and over. And if you can, tuck your right foot behind your left calf. You can. I never can on this side. And you may find that you can on one side and not on the other. That's totally okay. See if you can bring the elbows up to shoulder height. See if you can orient yourself in the middle, breathing here, squeezing everything together. We're sort of tensing up the body, allowing for new release when we flap our wings open. So breathing here, another 2 deep breaths. On the next breath, release the arms up, painting a circle up to the sky. And then bring the palms facing the ground as you paint a circle down. And then shake the arms, shake the legs just to sort of loosen them up. That was a bit of a squeeze in the body, so just shake everything. And then we'll finish off with the other side. So once again, sit back in chair. And we're flapping the arms. This is a really great way to open the shoulders too. So we're flapping, flapping, flapping. And this time, we're bringing the left arm underneath the right arm. If you can bring the palms together, great. If you can't, opposite shoulders are fine. And this time we want to bring our left foot out to the left side, still sinking into that chair. And this time bringing that left foot up and over. If you can tuck those toes, then you can. If it's not happening, that's okay. They don't seem to be happening from the other side today, that's totally okay. Elbows up to shoulder height. See if you can center yourself. Breathing here, squeezing out all that no longer serves us. Keep that breath moving. One more deep breath here. And on the next breath, bow down and then release the wings, palms up to the sky. And then reverse the palms down towards the ground as you paint a circle down. And on the next breath, just once again, shake the body, shake the arms, shake the legs. All right, so one last standing thing. It's not really like a pose, it's more like movement. It's a really nice releasing movement. Now, it may look silly, it may sound silly, but that's okay. So the way that you're you can even symbolically see that it kind of feels like you're just letting go of all that no longer serves you. So I like to kind of reach up and then you can like make a noise, bring the arms through behind you, bend the knees, inhale. You can exhale, a forceful exhale, inhale, and then just let it go. Let's do 3 more of these. Inhale up, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale, let it all go. One last time, inhale, and make this the deepest one up. Exhale, whew. And gently come back up. So kind of like a modified movement that I've seen in other classes with some of my favorite teachers. But it's really nice, kind of like, okay, I just need to like get this all out, right? So, you know, you can do it even in a non-yoga class that works for you. All right, so let's make our way down into the mat. So you can grab a blanket, you can grab a pillow, a block, whatever feels good to you. Sit on the edge of that prop, whatever you're using. We're gonna bring our feet together, knees apart, coming into Baddha Konasana, round angle, or butterfly, some people like to call it. If it feels good to you, you can open up your feet like a book. If you have especially open hips today, see if you can sit tall, adding length into the spine. Inhale as you reach the crown up towards the sky. Exhale as you forward fold with the straight back as far as you can go, and then round over when you can't anymore. Couple options here. You can bring the arms out in front of you. You can place another bolster or pillow or blanket on top of your feet if you want to lay on it. Wherever you are, just make sure that you are letting the head and neck relax, letting the shoulders relax away from the ears, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the teeth. And inhaling in that intention or that feeling that you'd like to have right now. Exhaling out all that no longer serves you. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the shoulders. Really embodying more of that yin energy right now. So we've built that heat. We've built up that fire. Now we're going to let it spread so that it can soften our body, soften our muscles, really get into our deep connective tissue, our fascia. And let us open up more. The more that you relax and stop controlling, the more that you'll find that there's space that opens up. And that goes for where we are right now. You notice that you aren't forcing the body in any way. You might start to find yourself deeper in it without even knowing it. On the next breath, slowly start to bring the hands up to the body and gently start to rise up. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. Let's do that again, shrugging the shoulders up and back down and releasing. So now we're just going to come into a wide angle, so Upavisa Konasana. So you're going to let the knees extend. You are more than welcome to still sit on the edge of a blanket. I probably wouldn't sit on the edge of a block if you feel pain. If you feel okay, I want you to trust your body into what feels good, but it may or may not feel good to sit on the edge of a block, so just gauge that for yourself. Once again, you can bring a bolster or a blanket or a pillow in front of you if you want to lay on something. But first, let's sit tall, adding length into our spine, flexing our feet. Your legs can be as wide or as much of a V, or it can be a little V, it can be a big V, whatever feels good to you. Adding length into the spine. Inhale as you reach the crown up and the arms up to frame the ears. And exhale as you lower down with a straight back as much as you can, and then let the hands land where they land and relax the head and the neck down. For some of you, it may feel good to have a block that you can lay your forehead on, or a pillow or a bolster, whatever feels good for you. See if you can once again relax the jaw, relax the neck. Inhaling in that intention or what you'd like to bring more in of a feeling. Exhaling out all that no longer serves you. And the shoulders relax away from the ears. We're not forcing or striving or straining to be anywhere else than where we are right now. Relaxing the jaw, letting the head and the neck hang. And then the next breath, gently bring the hands back up to the body. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. You can gently bring the legs together, bend the knees, and just hug the chest to the knees just for a moment, letting the head come down to in between the knees. Hugging ourselves, embodying that self-compassion. And then when you're ready, you can rise back up and come onto your back on your mat. When you do come onto your back, you can hug the knees into the chest, giving yourself a tight squeeze, rocking left and right, massaging the spine. And then coming to stillness, holding onto your left knee as you extend out your right leg. Squeezing that left knee into your body or out towards your left armpit if your hips open. Maybe even moving that left knee in circles if that feels good to you. And then coming to stillness as you transfer that left knee into your right hand, as you swing that left knee over to the right side of your body. Floating that left arm up to the sky, peeling that left shoulder blade down onto the mat, coming into a spinal twist. If you are pregnant or trying to get pregnant, then you can continue to squeeze the left knee into the body in circles, or you can go into figure 4. Breathing here. You can release that right hand down, or if you want to deepen the twist, you can gently guide the left knee down. But we don't want to do any forcing or striving or straining right now. We really want to embody that yin energy, that receiving energy. We did a lot of doing before, so now we're going to just be. Bringing awareness to the breath. Then on the next breath, bring both feet back down onto the mat, bending both knees. Just gently push into the feet, lift the hips off the mat, neutralize the spine, lower the hips back down. Once again, squeeze both knees into the body, giving yourself a tight squeeze. You can rock left and right if that feels good for you. And this time, holding on to your right knee as you extend your left leg down, squeezing that left knee into the midline or out towards the right armpit if your hip's more open. You can also move that right knee in circles if that feels good to you. And then when you're ready, placing that right knee in your left hand as you swing that right knee over to the left side of your body. This time floating that right arm to the sky, peeling that right shoulder blade down onto the mat, coming into spinal twist other side, or any alternative that works for you, whether that's figure 4 or continuing to squeeze the knee into the body, especially if you're pregnant or trying to get pregnant, trying to avoid those spinal twists. You can release the left hand down if you like, or you can use that left hand to guide that right knee down for a deepening, but without the intention of needing that knee to go anywhere or needing anything to happen right now. Simply just allowing what unfolds to unfold. Bringing awareness to the breath, softening the whole body. you're ready, bringing both feet back down onto the mat. Knees are bent. Just gently push into the feet, lifting the hips up to neutralize the spine. Lower the hips back down. Then one last time, squeeze the knees into the body, giving yourself a tight hug. You can rock left and right. And then opening up the feet into happy baby, grabbing the outsides of both feet, both big toes or ankles, whatever feels good to you. Rocking left and right again, massaging the spine. And then when you're ready, coming down to the final pose of Shavasana or doing any last movements that you need for your practice this evening. Getting comfortable, you can grab a blanket or pillows, eye pillow. And letting yourself just be still. You can use this time to bring more awareness to any intention that you have, or perhaps just reflecting on how far you've come. Reflecting on what you would like to bring in terms of feelings or ideas, but not taking action quite yet, just simply reflecting right now, just going in. And slowly start to deepen the breath. Bringing movement into the body, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. And when you're ready, rolling over onto your right side, the solar side, really embodying that solar energy, coming into a fetal position, taking a moment to collect the breath here. And then when you're ready, coming back onto your mat in a comfortable seated position. You can sit on the edge of a block or a pillow or a blanket, bringing both palms together at the heart. Bowing down to the palms, bringing the chin to the fingertips. Giving gratitude to yourself for showing up to your yoga practice this evening. Giving gratitude to your mind, your body, your breath. And giving gratitude to those in your lives that show up for you, support you. And if you have more room in the heart space today, you can widen this even more to your neighbors, your local community, perhaps the acquaintances. If you have more room, you can spread this out to the local city that you're in, perhaps the whole state. If there's even more room to spare, perhaps to the whole country, to the whole world, to the whole universe. Sending gratitude and compassion to everyone all around us. Understanding that we are all connected. I thank each and every one of you for practicing with me today on this special new moon in Gemini and solar eclipse. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Be sure to be gentle with yourself and be sure to ground yourself in any way that you need and to just check in on what is needed in each moment. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and hopefully I will see you next Thursday for another new moon. Sorry, another lunar flow is what I meant.